Hey there, all my cool cats and kittens, and welcome to the Talking Fail podcast. This week I'm coming to you beautifully green screened, as always. Next to me, I have my brother Tyler.
Hello, I'm here, and that 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 bitch Carol Baskin from Florida can't stop me from being here tonight.
And neither can the government taking away my tigers. Government wants to take away my tigers.
So I know you wanted to open this with a quick tirade about my opinions, but I assume now you've since watched uh, Tiger King on Netflix
I have
before you get to your tirade.
I have since finished Tiger King twice on Netflix,
Okay.
and
Uh,
no, not very good. Wouldn't recommend.
okay. All right. So
I kid.
right before we went live,
We had a little disagreement about the stream setup here.
yeah, since we've gone in quarantine, no, because before I would come over to your house that's like 2 or 3 blocks away, and we would record in the studio, the setup that you have there. But since then, you've been experimenting with your green screen
Yeah,
and keying yourself into the video chat window,
because,
and to what I would say various degrees of success.
well, I mean, nobody likes um, how we had it before, where we were side by side, and there was just tons of dead space on the top and bottom of the screen. So I thought, might as well use a green screen. Just
I I think I was on the record of I didn't mind it so much. I think it's
and
a
hence the
necessary
disagreement.
thing. Yeah. Okay. Um.
Speaking of dead space, can you tilt your camera to the side? I can see your monitor.
Oh. Well, yeah. But if you okay, so yeah, I've got a little bit of monitor edge right here, right?
Yeah.
But if I tilt over here, then you see that I'm recording in a closet.
Okay, I'll just try and stand on the black space. I think that'll
Okay.
that'll help.
Just yeah. That makes it stops distracting.
Yeah, because
Okay.
Lord knows we wouldn't want a distracting camera setup, Tyler.
Exactly. Well, I'm glad you're on it.
I
But
am
yeah,
most.
so yeah, right now for video listeners and viewers, I guess, you are keyed into my picture, just a slightly smaller size.
I did just make myself a little bigger, so I think we're pretty even
Okay.
now. But yeah, it was a little weird being a tiny bit smaller than you.
Okay. I mean, okay. So I'm looking at it on a slight delay, but it looks like yeah, we're both very similar.
Just give me like a couple weeks. Oh, I think you cut out there, Tyler. Oh, the
Uh,
picture's frozen. Oh, I'm all by myself. Okay, well, Tyler.
oh. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Hi.
Probably don't check Twitch ever again. I think your internet couldn't handle it. You were like totally gone for that whole time. Are you back now?
Okay.
I can
Am
see
I back
you.
now?
I can see you and I can
Hello.
hear you finally.
Okay, cool.
So,
If from on my end, I didn't lose any. I was there the entire time.
well, yeah, that's because I have good internet, Tyler.
That's true. Okay, fine. Um, all right. Yeah. So, yeah. So you're keyed in, and you're going to make improvements
Yes.
over
So
time.
give me about like 2 weeks, Tyler, and
Okay.
I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to set up different shots for my arms to make my arms look bigger. So I'm going to like key out my arms and just stick
Okay.
them, Lord of the Rings style, make them look even bigger.
Have you thought about just actually working out?
I'm sorry, what?
Never mind. Never
I
mind.
didn't know that was an option.
I somehow doubt that. Um, yeah.
Okay, before
Yeah.
we talk about Tiger King, which I do want to talk about,
Okay. I
um,
actually have. I actually. There's this thing I forgot to tell you before we started the show that I need to take care of. Um, I actually can't record the entire time. I totally forgot about this. So I'm gonna need to leave early, but I was able to secure a guest to come to replace me.
Is it your
No,
child?
no. Um, it's a very important guest, but I have to go. So just if you could give me a minute, I'll get the guest on the line real quick. So just can you vamp for just like a minute? Maybe start talking about your opinions of Tiger King. Maybe.
Well, yeah, I can go ahead and talk about Jimmy Buffett some more actually.
Okay. So thank you everybody. I'll be back next week.
Okay, thanks for being on, Tyler, and securing that appearance as to not drop below me in attendance.
Yep. That was my goal.
All right, so now that that slacker's gone, I am, in fact, wasting away in Margaritaville. Uh, I got this frozen concoction that helps me hang on, and got a big old margarita in honor of Jimmy Buffett, R.I.P. I know he's not dead, but I hope he rests in peace wherever he is. So I'll take a big swig of. Our
Hey,
guest is on.
hey, how's it going?
Hey there. I believe our guest is a roll of toilet paper. Now,
Yeah, yeah.
this actually was a very difficult guest to procure.
I'm big. I'm highly in demand right now. It's
You are
very
a,
sought after.
you are a hot commodity right now.
Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay. So it's been a rough couple of weeks for you.
yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty crappy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I thought my job was rough.
Oh, yeah. I mean, okay.
Now, are you like a package deal with that blue sweater or blanket?
Uh, This is my blanket. This is where I lounge around. Hang on, I gotta adjust my microphone a little bit here. I mean, just there you go. Does that sound better?
Yeah, that sounds great. Oh, wow, the commitment to just a little microphone sliding into view. Oh, okay. Well, TP, have you watched the TK, Tiger
Uh,
King?
Tiger King. Yes, yes.
I'm sorry. Is it offensive for me to say TP? Is that like?
No, all my best friends call me TP.
Oh, okay. You're. How about you're my tipper?
What?
You're my tipper, TPer.
What?
You're my paper.
Oh no. Was that was that paper with a with a hard R?
No, I wouldn't say paper with a hard R. Don't worry.
Okay, because that's our word.
All right, now we're there. Have you seen Tiger King?
Yes, yes. It was a very interesting documentary. Highly underrepresented in the for us paper products though.
Yeah, I imagine tigers go through a lot of toilet paper. They got big buttholes.
They really just rip us up. It's kind of just makes a mess. That's all.
You'd think with them being like, uh, normalized into the human ecosystem, they wouldn't be so aggressive towards toilet paper.
Uh, I don't really know what that's supposed to mean.
Me neither. Um,
What did you think about Tiger King?
okay, well, I don't know how long we're continuing this bit, but I guess I'll go into.
I set aside 2 hours. So
All right. Okay. So Tiger King, it's pretty crazy. Um, I saw this little Twitter video from O.J. Simpson who says, in like a long-winded fashion, basically he thinks Carol Baskins did it.
hmm hmm hmm
He's
hmm
basically like, from one murderer to another, I think she did it.
Okay, yeah. So wait, you're he did OJ admit to it to his the murder he was
Oh,
accused of?
oh God, no! It was like a wink, uh, like
Wait, wait. Are you joking that OJ killed is guilty? Because A court of law, a jury of his peers, ruled that he is not guilty.
I will fight to my death that bitch OJ, he killed that woman.
Wow. I'm really kind of sad that
In fact,
we disagree on this.
I have OJ's diary right here. Oh. Okay.
Tiger King.
Yeah, Tiger King. Tyler, how long are we doing this?
I don't know what you're talking about. Tyler's not here.
Okay. I'll continue.
Yeah, I'm remote videoing in from my place in Cabo. I shouldn't tell you actually. People come knocking down my door.
Did you disappear under mysterious circumstances, TP?
What? I've been in witness protection.
Oh man, what if Dawn, Carol's wife, really was just in witness protection?
I mean, what for what reasons? It's kind of a long time, right?
How do you think he made his millions? Drug money stuffed into tigers.
Oh, yeah, that is actually might be a valid thing. And plus, if you're married to Carol Baskin, there's really no incentive to come back.
Oh. Plus everybody's gonna think she murdered you. Okay. Well, the next thing I had to talk about is remember Joe's second husband, I guess, Travis.
You're talking about the one who accidentally shot himself?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Like, oh my god. I was like, okay, Travis is not in like recent footage. So
Right,
like
right. Yeah, you kind of saw that coming.
there was either a falling out and he didn't want to be in the Netflix documentary, which was a possibility, but my other thing that I was like, there's no way he's dead. And then they start showing clips of him. I think it was like the third or fourth episode. And he's like, they're talking about how he's addicted to meth. And he's being reckless and driving and shooting guns all over the place. I'm like, oh my God, I think this guy's going to die.
Yeah, and then spoiler alert, he died.
Yeah. And like, I mean, I was raised with smart gun control, so I get like really uncomfortable when people do certain things with guns.
Yeah, yep. Same here.
Which is like nonstop 24/7 what they do in that park.
Yeah, I mean, there's one like interview where Joe Exotic he's waving the gun around and then he like accidentally shot it off into the air.
Oh, I thought it was on purpose.
I don't know. It was weird.
So
but either way, not safe gun control.
So for video listeners, he takes his gun, points it at the camera, and is like, yeah, bang, just shoots it into the sky. Like, points a loaded gun right at the camera, and you're like, okay, maybe the gun is unloaded. It's still not smart, but maybe the gun is unloaded.
There's a small chance that this is just like a bit that they're doing for the filming. They made sure to unload the gun.
Nope.
Beforehand. Nope.
Gun's fully loaded.
Fully loaded. He shot it in the air right next to the cameraman. No one. I'm willing to bet no one was wearing ear protection.
And there's footage of him just firing off like some kind of hunting rifle above the heads of his employees and his mother-in-law.
Yep.
Just like into the tree branches above that. Like, wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the documentary was implying that it wasn't just Travis that was Joe Exotic was giving drugs to. He was also keeping like his mother-in-law full of drugs.
Yeah, I mean,
because I think she was an employee for a bit.
Yeah, and there was some weird like she's like just the way she acted. I kind of thought something was up with her, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
almost being too accepting of whatever relationship this is.
Right.
Cuz any I don't know, good parent would see what's going on and say this is not healthy and I'm not going to be supportive of whatever relationship this is. Not that it's like a gay relationship, but that he's clearly like a straight guy just being fed
It's a
drugs.
weird power dynamic is really what it comes down to. And I just assumed that early on that maybe the Travis was like not from that area, or a lot of times your parents aren't involved in your life as much as other parents can be. So maybe she just didn't even know. But
But she knew.
it's very clear that she's in town and she knew a lot of things.
So then the final masterpiece in lack of gun control is when Travis, so he said he had a Beretta and the clip wasn't in it, and he said that Berettas don't fire without a clip in, no matter what.
Right. That's what they said in the documentary.
Is that a thing? Because I have never heard that.
I mean, it would be an interesting. It would make sense as a feature. I don't know for sure, right? I'm like you, where I don't really know, but it would make sense as a feature if you had a way to not, allow the gun to be fired unless there was a clip in it. But the way automatics work is there's a bullet in the chamber,
Yes, which most people
potentially.
forget about, but it sounds like he knew there was a bullet in the chamber, but he
Yeah,
said
yeah,
the gun can't fire without a clip in because it's a
right,
Beretta.
right. Sorry, 1 second. I need to get a drink if you don't mind.
All right.
Thank you.
I kind of thought you were going to like pour the drink onto the roll of toilet paper because it's like
No, no,
absorbent.
no. No, that's not good for my health.
All right. Hard seltzer. That's like the low calorie drink. That's
Well,
smart.
I gotta watch my weight.
Your absorbency.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, he takes this gun that apparently had a bullet in the chamber and puts it right up to his head and says, "You idiot! It won't fire without a clip in the gun." And then proceeds to unfortunately blow his brains out.
Yeah, yeah. With another guy watching.
And they have footage of the guy watching.
Yeah, it's like basically the guy's sitting underneath the camera, watching pointed at the audience, and you just
Yeah.
see the reactions. Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
And it's hard to describe the reaction, but it's pretty much Macaulay Culkin aftershave.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, it's not great. I don't know why we're gonna keep describing it.
I don't know. It's obviously terrible, but just something about the face he makes me laugh a tiny bit.
Okay.
Like
Uh,
if you strip that away as just the face, you don't know what's happening, and you see him make that face. It's a little funny.
okay. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that, but
I mean,
I'm
come
not
on,
going to agree.
just admit that it's a little funny.
No, no,
I mean, we all know
no,
it's a little funny.
no. No. Now that you've seen the documentary, who do you think burned down the studio / killed the alligator, the gators?
Now, I don't want to get this confused because I think Joe is an American hero and should be praised for his actions. But I think Joe did it.
I think I agree. I think that Joe Exotic burned down his own studio
But
/ killed the gators.
he needed to because Robert Kirkham was going to shut down his zoo and he needs to keep that puppy open so that bitch Carol Baskin doesn't get it.
I think that like they show the footage of the person walking away.
It looked like Sasquatch or Bigfoot. I
It
mean, the Bigfoot footage.
it looked like somebody who had a injury to their leg, uh, just like Joe Exotic had been showing that he had that leg brace on for almost every flashback footage.
Yeah. Well, I thought it looked like somebody trying to imitate the Robert Kirkham walk, because he's kind of a
Sure,
tall,
sure.
lanky old dude who I feel like would walk like that, but it was almost comical how lanky his walk was.
Yeah. I'm also assuming that Mr. Kirkham, or whatever his name is, the documentarian, uh, he was enjoying the benefits that the other employees enjoyed. Drugs.
Really?
I assume so.
Oh, I
I mean, why else would you stay on property like that for that long and complain about how horrible the living conditions were if you didn't weren't getting a little bit of the benefits.
hmm. I firmly have to disagree. I think Kirkham just saw what a monetary gain this could be, and I don't think he would risk that for meth.
Okay, all right,
Maybe if there was something lighter, like, I don't know, heroin.
sure, yeah, yeah.
I have to adjust our Twitch info because it says we're
Uh,
playing FTL right now.
oh, okay, yeah. I'm not a big fan of FTL.
Speaking of FTL, did you end up watching Tyler's live stream of FTL?
I mean, like I said, I'm not a big fan of FTL, so I didn't really tune in. No,
Yeah,
is
why?
there anything interesting happen there?
Yeah, it was a good stream. It just was more like a slideshow than a live stream.
Yeah, I mean, his internet really sucks.
Ugh. Um, oh, let me pull up my notes again so I can. So who do you think is the worst person in Tiger King?
Okay, so there's assuming if you're going to assume that Carol Baskin did kill her husband,
That
then
bitch.
we're talking about a murderer.
A bitch murderer.
Joe Exotic, what he definitely killed some tigers, but that's a little hard because tigers do get old, and and a lot of times you get an older dog and it's just you got to put the dog down because it's just suffering kind of a thing. We don't really know the conditions of those tigers.
He
Uh,
euthanized them, that American hero.
um, but he also was running kind of this like meth cult thing with tigers.
Everybody needs their followers, that American hero.
Yeah, he was also feeding the animals expired meat
Okay,
and running
well,
a
I
pizza.
think
Okay, did
the
would you have pizza at Joe Exotic's pizza place, knowing where they source their meat from?
okay, the using the expired meat for the pizza is where they cross the line. I think that it's fine to feed them like 1 day expired
Sure.
Safeway meat, the
Okay.
tigers, and maybe even
Sure.
people, but it's like donated food, which is like got to be definitely illegal.
And the other hand, like, but and he also mentioned, and nobody really talks about it, is like when the police see roadkill on the side of the road, to
Yeah,
call up Joe and bring it over, and I think that's pretty universally okay. But if you say
for tigers, yeah.
for tigers, yes.
Yeah, and
Uh,
that's the
but
kind of thing they would do if they saw a dead animal in the wild, they would eat it.
yeah, so I think the expired meat thing isn't really that bad for the tigers. It's more for the human side of it.
Yeah, cuz their
Um,
stomachs are actually different than ours.
right. And then you got the Bhagavan,
Doc
Doctor.
Doc Doc Bhagavan Antle.
Yeah. So and he's he's from what I've been reading about online, he's like no better than Joe or any of the others.
Well,
Uh,
it's hard to be better than Joe, that American hero.
so I guess if I'm going to limit myself down to just the three big, zoo owners, I definitely I gotta say that that bitch Carol Baskin is definitely the worst.
Okay, what about Jeff Lowe? Right, he counts in the
Uh,
mix.
he's just like a douchebag, and
Oh,
he's probably
the
guilty
worst.
of several. He's probably guilty of several white collar crimes. Like
He
there's a lot.
is
Like
gotta be.
you gotta check his tax records and stuff. But I it doesn't seem like he's hurt anybody.
He
It's
is like the luckiest man alive to not be behind bars, because it seems like he was probably somewhat involved with the Carol stuff, the Carol murder plot. I mean,
barely what? Because I think that happened much
oh, excuse me.
earlier.
No, they said he was there.
The guy who bailed out Joe Exotic.
Yeah, they said he was there and that he used the hitman was Jeff's friend.
I thought you're talking about when Carol Baskin murdered her husband. That's
No,
sorry. Okay,
I
so
mean
when
the hit.
when Joe Exotic would put out the hit. Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
he
sorry.
was involved with that. Yeah, for sure.
So
So
I think they wanted to make an example out of Joe because clearly that man should go to jail for something. They just couldn't figure out what.
right.
And I think they wanted to make an example out of Joe. And they got lucky, or Jeff got lucky that he got the deal first.
Yeah.
I think if they came to Joe Exotic first, it would just be flipped. If they wanted to put away Jeff and the other fat Chucky doll guy.
Well, you mean the FBI informant
Yeah,
on his jet ski?
while the Eye of the Tiger plays. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
So
uh, I don't know if this will work very well. Can I show you a meme on my phone?
you have a phone.
Of course, I have a phone.
Oh, what kind of phone do you have?
I don't know. I just get whatever you pay for the phone plan, and they give you like a free smartphone. It's probably some Samsung or LG or something.
Oh, okay.
Here, let me show you a meme that I found that's all about our favorite friend. Let's see if this works on the camera here. There, can you see that pretty well?
Hollywood FBI informant, and it's a picture of is that Leo?
Yeah, that's Leo. That's my
And
buddy
then an
Leo.
actual FBI informant is the overweight man on the jet ski that we talked about earlier.
Yeah. So yeah, it is. I thought that was funny. Made me chuckle.
Hey, TP,
Yeah, yeah.
you sound a lot like Tyler. Have you noticed?
Uh, okay. I mean,
You
I don't really know.
you kind of just
I mean,
sound like Tyler going, I don't know. I'm Tyler. I'm not Tyler. I'm TP.
but I'm not Tyler. I'm TP.
I'm TP.
No, you're not.
I'm TP now.
No, stop it. You know, I. Ah,
Okay, so out of the main four, or maybe even five, if you count the drug lord that they talked about for like one episode,
yeah, right. The
um,
one at the very beginning. Yeah, he seems like the nicest.
which
Like,
is sad that
which
the
is sad.
drug lord.
The guy who said, "Oh yeah, I'm kind of everybody calls me Scarface because I used to do drugs like the guy in Scarface." But
and I was involved in killing and chopping people up, but I didn't really do
well,
it.
well, that was the rival gang. You see, they killed those guys. Was it FBI guys? And then they dropped off the bodies on his property. He had nothing to do with it. He just had to dispose of the bodies because there's no way that he could turn it in.
Yeah.
And I totally believe him.
He paid his debt to society.
Yeah, yeah. So uh, he doesn't seem like he's that bad, I guess.
Um, so yeah, I guess we'll discount him because we see the least of him.
Yeah, we
And
do. We just don't know enough about him. Yeah, yeah.
so the four mains: Carol, Joe, Jeff, and Doc. Who is
Doc.
the
Yeah.
best one?
Based on what we see, which we definitely didn't spend as much time at. We spent the most time with Joe
Mm-hmm.
because he is the main focus, and we
Yes,
spent the next most amount of time with that bitch Carol Baskin down in Florida.
that bitch makes you rest in peace.
So really, I mean, I'm sure you can tell that Doc Antle was very good about how he presents himself and
Yes,
very careful about what he shows and guiding the camera people, the camera crew through his stuff.
this sounds like an
uh
orientation day for one of his female employees. By the way, how he
right,
presents himself and
he's been very through this process a
where
few
where
times.
the camera crew can go and
Yeah, so but I mean, we didn't see him kill anybody. We didn't see him, he's not accused of anything other
his
than
his place
the
did get raided.
it did get raided, but we don't know. I mean, that could have been for there's he has a lot of people living there. There could be, I'm assuming one of the girls,
It
maybe she had some trouble or something, and
it was in
you
a
know,
small little bit of text at the end, so it must not be important.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, yeah, Doc, he's grooming potentially underage girls, but that's in terms of compared to the rest of the crazy cast, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's not too bad, right?
Yeah, it sucks because I think Doc just looks good because he presents himself good,
Right,
but I think
right.
he's as guilty as everybody else.
Okay. So who do you think is the least worst?
Oh, definitely Joe.
Okay.
Joe, when the country, the justice system has failed, he took it upon himself to go and get that Miss Carol Baskins and bring her to justice. I mean, he's like Batman. He's like a real life Batman. What more can you ask from an
That
American hero?
Batman didn't kill doesn't kill.
Yeah, he just hires hitmen to kill people.
Okay.
I mean, if Batman hired a hitman to kill Joker, would you be mad?
Yeah, because he's allowing it's like why not just kill the Joker yourself? If you're going to kill the Joker.
Well, but I mean, think about it like when he was on the train and Ra's al Ghul was also on the train,
Uh-huh.
and the train was about to crash, and he
Yeah.
was like, Ra's al Ghul said, "You can't kill me," but then Batman said, "Yes, but I don't have to save you either," and then he jumped out. I mean, that's kind of like hiring a hitman.
Except that there's no other party involved and no money exchanged hands.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Yeah. I guess.
So yeah, and I think there was some beautiful trolling that Joe did, but he just underestimated a little bit how much money Carol had.
Yeah, yeah, and that the one I feel really sorry for is Carol Baskin's current husband.
Really, I can't stand her current husband.
Well, I can't stand him either, but you can see the fear in his eyes. Do you remember there's the scene where they're watching like the music video that they put together? If you want,
Oh
they're
yeah,
it's the two of them sitting on the couch watching their music video that you know they've seen a million times before this. This is just set up for the camera crew to film them watching it. But she reaches her hand over and takes his hand, and he doesn't move an inch.
yeah.
That's
He
the
he genuinely seems afraid of her,
yes. Um. So yeah,
which
I
and
think
he
like a
seems
Blake twice if you need help kind of a situation.
he I mean, he can leave. He seems like a total puss
Can he?
puss.
Can he? I think that if he leaves, he might accidentally disappear.
Well, is he rich? I feel like he's almost latching onto her money.
I don't know. I haven't looked at their tax returns.
I feel like the fear almost more comes from his fear of getting cut off from her money now.
Sure, sure.
So like I see him as like spineless almost. You know, kind of
Uh
a
huh.
spineless person who just hangs on Carol's every word. And I mean, did you see their like the photos of them where they're dressed up like tigers and he's on the leash and he's just sitting there down like
Yeah, I feel like that's. I think that's a perfect description of their actual relationship. Also, it might be they might have probably had those costumes before they needed them for that party. Like, like we might have gotten some
oh
insight into their very personal lives
oh and she's
that I
talking
don't want to know about.
and she's talking about how when she goes into Congress, how she's always dressed up in leopard print because she says, when the politicians see me, they're going to see how I'm dressed and think, oh, that's the girl that's going to be on my case all the time if I don't give animal rights.
Well, I mean, she's got a point. If you see someone dressed like that, you know that they're going to be involved in your life as much as they want to be in you. They want to be involved in your life. And it doesn't matter what you think about it.
And in the beginning, like she's walking around that like memoriam site of all the dead animals she's had.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the husband of hers is like following, and she turns around and she's like, "Oh, you're following me again. Oh, okay, you want to follow? You can talk too. Like, you keep sneaking up on me. Like, I'm doing this Netflix thing, and you keep sneaking up on me."
Yeah. It was good.
Um, remember when they were telling us he was telling a story
Uh
about
huh.
the like some noise on their patio when they were afraid of hitmen
Yeah.
and they had guns, and he's getting right up to the point of like, you know, the climax of the story. It's like they're finally gonna find out what's outside, and then Carol just cuts him off and says it was dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. They have an interesting really dynamic in their relationship.
It was the neighbor's dogs.
Never mind, they live on a property with giant
It was
cats.
their neighbor's dog.
Neighbors' dogs. Yeah.
And you can see the look of pain in his eyes. Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, you definitely recommend Tiger King.
yeah, it was definitely very good. I'm disappointed that the songs are made by somebody else.
So I mean, I feel a little bit better about blasting those songs around the house while in quarantine now because now I know I'm not, you know, I'm no longer comfortable blasting on my R. Kelly CDs. Uh, I'm kind of happy that I'm now supporting a different person who's not in jail.
Yeah, and thank God we still have Lost Prophets.
What? Who?
Haven't heard that name in years. Um,
I okay. I haven't heard that name at all.
oh, I forgot you were friends with Michael Jackson is good too.
Are you like making a joke?
Um, trying to.
Oh, okay.
What's Joe Exotic's best song?
Well, I mean, here, kitty, kitty. That's a pretty good one.
I like the part where he holds up tiger poop and he's
Yeah.
like, all that's left are tiger tra ha ha hacks. Oh.
Uh,
According to Reddit, they cut out a lot of Joe Exotic's racism.
No, Joe Exotic's racist? No.
And the top comment was, "Oh, he seemed like such a nice guy up to that point." Uh,
Man. I mean, that's nuts.
hey, TP,
Yeah, yeah.
do you think maybe Tyler can come back on the episode?
I mean, it sounded like he had to do.
Really important stuff, huh? Do you think he's taking a poop? Does that offend you?
Well, I mean, if he is, he doesn't have any TP.
Uh, so he's down to one roll. That is a dire situation.
I guess so. I don't know. I didn't really count.
Oh, and Reddit gives a warning. The link talking about the racism is full of spam and malware. So,
Oh, I guess that's like par for the course, I guess, right?
okay, so best person, not one of the main, just any of the people.
Well, I mean, I feel bad for there's like the two or three other tiger handlers that Joe Exotic worked with.
So there's the one hand chick, Saf.
Yeah,
Gotta
and then
feel for her.
there's the two other guys too.
And then there's the Taylor
the-
Hawkins looking one.
Yeah, yeah.
I
and then
feel
there's
for
the-
him.
Is that the one without the guy without legs?
The guy without legs is a different one.
Yeah, but those three are the ones that I feel like are the really good ones, and the guy who the campaign manager who witnessed Travis
Yeah.
getting shot.
He's a libertarian, by the way.
I think he mentioned that, yeah, once or twice.
Joe doesn't even know what a libertarian is.
Yeah. So yeah, I think those are the ones I feel the worst for.
I kind of feel
Um,
like the guy with no legs was like more of a partner with Joe and kind of had more of a hand going on in most of the bad things, maybe. Because
Yeah, I don't know. I assume that Joe Exotic didn't let the other did. Joe Exotic was the one who had all the funding.
the part that concerns me with like the crazy scale with the no-legged guy is that they made a pact to kill each other and
Yeah.
he has the bullets with their names on
Ah,
it.
I forgot about that. That was like way back in episode 1. Yeah.
And I get some strong crazy from that.
Yeah, I mean that's not a normal thing that people do is put names on bullets.
So I kind of get the feeling that he might just be one of the ones that comes off really good. But I don't know about the no-legged guy.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we take him off the list. Yeah.
Taylor Hawkins seems so sad and like
Yeah.
when the zoo shut down, he just seemed like a broken man.
Yeah. Does he work for the new zoo? Did they didn't really talk about who, because the zoo Joe Exotic was shut down by what's his name?
No, they didn't. But I kind of got the feeling that none of
Okay.
them were gonna like see the tigers anymore.
Yeah, that was what it was kind of implied. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, which does kind of suck. I mean, there are a lot of those seem like decent employees. Like some of them do. Some of them just seemed like vagrants that had wandered into the park or something.
Yeah. 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 I mean, there was if we jump over to Doc's place, there's the girl that they interviewed who had gotten out.
Yeah.
Seems like she's got a good handle on things.
Unlike
Yeah.
Saf.
Wow. That's,
Yeah, if I was going to go to a zoo and I had the choice between Doc and Joe's, I would say, okay, well, Joe's is the hillbilly tiger zoo. So I'm going to go to Doc's zoo that
yeah.
looks like clean and well maintained.
I mean, that was the one footage of the guy And he's like, we've been here twice this week. I'm bringing my whole family. It has nothing to do with the scantily clad women.
Uh, oh, and like, what is it about owning tigers that everybody is just insane?
I mean, it's like everybody's a crazy cat lady.
Yeah. Um, it is the irony of Joe being in prison is pretty funny.
Because he would have animals in cages, and now he's in a cage.
And he's talking about how he's like, I need to get out of here. This ain't right. They're mistreating me. I need to get out.
Yeah, because they're feeding him expired meat in prison.
Oh,
So how long do these episodes usually go?
like half an hour.
Oh, and how long has this one been going?
Oh,
I did come in. I came in late after all.
oh, I thought you meant the Tiger King. This
Oh no,
episode,
no. Yeah, this talking fail
the
thing.
podcast, we go on for 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to tag in Tyler, he can do the rest.
I don't think I don't know. I mean, I got time. I didn't know I had to be like on for that long.
Oh yeah, we're an endurance podcast. We take things
Okay.
seriously here.
Yeah, completely seriously.
Dude, no joking around here.
Yeah, no, I get it. I respect it. You guys seem like you got a good thing going.
The footage of Joe
Back to
when
Tiger King. Okay.
yeah, sorry. When he thought
Seamless transition.
seamless, especially if you don't bring it up, it's more seamless.
Uh-huh. Okay.
When
Got
he
it.
when
got
he
it.
thought there was cologne on his shoes and you just see him getting dragged around while
Uh-huh.
nobody does anything,
Okay.
nobody cares.
Well, so here's the thing, right? What I don't know what the protocols are for something like that. Like
Sure, maybe
like is
don't rush into the cage.
so
Sure.
okay. Well, but how many people? So how many people are staffed at that place?
I don't know.
How and
There
you
was a
definitely
cameraman there at least, right?
okay. And I'm sure that cameraman is qualified to handle the tigers and will know how to help Joe.
But okay, yeah, he's not going to rush in, obviously.
Uh-huh.
But hopefully somebody would go, "Hey, Joe is in there. Let's try and do something. Let's
Like what? What do you do?
I don't know, shout at them, try and attract the
You
tigers."
think that shouting is going to
Everybody seems to be carrying a gun at this place. Maybe just
Uh,
fire a round off to distract the tigers.
I see. I don't think that. First of all, I only think that Joe Exotic has
They
a gun.
they showed at
Right?
least Taylor Hawkins has a gun, and I think No Legs has a gun.
Okay, maybe. But if they're not around, then like opening the door is all that's going to do is potentially let
Yeah,
out
you
more
you you
let
don't
tigers
open the door.
out of the cage.
You don't open the door, but it would be nice if somebody expressed some kind of concern when they saw that happening.
I'm sure there was concern, but it's just what are you going to do?
So when I see that, I think, wow, that's how sad this man's life is, that he is probably going to get eaten by a tiger and nobody is saying or doing anything.
I mean, my favorite part of that whole thing was interviewing Carol about it, and she was like, "Oh, if you wanted to have the tiger try and go after your leg, you should put sardines on it, or sardine oil or something on it." Ha ha ha! Yeah, that was nuts.
I'm no expert, but I played LA Noire, and if right after she says, "I didn't murder my husband," I would at least press doubt.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Uh, um, I, I think Joe is at least a master of comedy, accidentally maybe, because his
Hmm.
campaign videos, where he starts it off like, "I'm Joe Exotic, I'm gay, I'm a redneck, I'm running for president,
And
I
I'm in debt.
I got an indictment. I got several indictments out on me. I'm broke as shit, and I am running for president."
At least he's straightforward. He gets you know what you're getting into.
Yeah. Um. Well, I think I'm pretty much out of Tiger King topics.
Do you think that Tiger King could come back for a second season somehow? Like, what would that look like?
They already talked about how they're doing a short little update video.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, I think it's like just one more episode that they're updating in a like maybe a month or two. I guess I heard
okay.
rumors.
All right. I mean, I'll watch it.
Yeah, for sure. I think the if they do a whole second season, Joe Exotic would need to be let out of prison.
Okay. So do you think that if Exotic gets out of jail, they do you think they would start up a second season?
100%. I think they would. I think that
All
would be
right.
part of his plea deal. Everybody wants a second season, and he's like, "I'll give you a second season."
Do you know what pulled everybody through the COVID-19 quarantine was Tiger King. You get me out of prison, I can guarantee more Tiger King.
Six
And
seasons
then
in a movie. Oh,
uh,
I do love just the change of like, I'm Tiger King, and then he sings his songs. And I saw a tiger.
yeah, that was the part that really got me. Yeah.
And luckily, I guess, I mean, you weren't there for this, but last week I talked about the podcast. I talked about Tiger King with
Hmm.
my sister and Tyler. I think you met him.
Yeah.
Uh,
In passing. Yeah.
yeah, but I guess I may have been a little drunk, so I didn't remember the episode.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't remember like anything we talked about. So it was perfect. I remembered that I should watch it and that it was crazy, but I kind
Hmm.
of forgot all the details.
Well, that sounds like it was perfect then, because yeah.
Okay, well, we've talked about Tiger King a lot,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
we are getting close to running out of time, but I want to tell a quick story.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Sounds
so
good.
this is a story from my coworker. I've talked about him before. He's the wah, what are you going to do, cry about it guy
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
long-time listeners that have heard that story.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, he's a coworker, and I don't know. He's just endless amounts of entertainment. So, uh,
Do you think does he own big cats?
I would not be surprised if he owned big cats. So he was talking about how this, like, self quarantine and like social distancing thing, it reminds him of when he went off to war.
Oh, okay. He's
And
that veteran.
no,
Oh,
um,
but you just
what
said.
he's talking about is he had cancer,
Uh,
which
uh,
is awful. But
yes.
he said specifically, "This is like when I went off to war." And then one of my coworkers asks, "Yeah, what war did you fight in?" And he said, "Cancer. I went to war like a veteran."
But but
And
do you know what for like what part of what kind of cancer he had?
well, it was leukemia, so
Okay,
obviously bad cancer, and he's very lucky to be alive.
as opposed to the good kind of cancer. But okay,
Yeah, like Courtney Love. And
what?
And you know, not to be mean, but it's just a little funny when he talks about how, the war he went to. When we work with somebody who was actually in the army,
Right.
and he multiple times now has brought up the fact that he went to war. It's not a one-time thing.
Wow.
Just today he brought up that, like, I need to man up and I'm going to war again.
Oh, is the cancer coming back?
No, it's like the social distancing thing is like what he had to do when he had cancer
Oh, right.
because the weakened
Okay.
immune system.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Still not good thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
However, comparing it to war, probably not the best.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he he was basically calling himself a veteran, which me and my coworker found a little funny.
Yeah, that's you should have him come on the podcast. That'd be an
Oh,
interesting
it
episode.
would be insane. He would be great, but I don't know how to get him on. And I don't know if I want to bridge those worlds.
True, true. That makes sense. Can't
Mm.
fault you there.
Did you say cat?
No, I said
Oh.
I can't fault you there.
Oh, okay. I thought you said big cat foots or tracks are there. Big cat tracks are there. Big tiger tracks.
Axe.
I saw a tiger, and the tiger saw man.
Yeah, that's the song.
I read a little bit about the band that made all the songs, and
Seamless transition back to Tiger King. Got it. Okay. Sorry, just got confused there for a second.
that they made the songs for free because they were
Yes.
promised exposure for the Robert
Yes.
Kirkham TV show that never
That never-
happened.
Yes.
Oh, I got a feel for them. What a loss.
Yeah.
Uh,
At least
okay.
people know now. There was some people do.
Yeah. Well, I should wrap up the show, I guess. Do you think we could have Tyler on for the outro? Do you think he's done with his activities?
I'm not Tyler's keeper. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're
How
not
are you?
Tyler's keeper, but you're Tyler's wiper.
That's not. I don't. That's not funny.
You're right. That was awful crappy of me. I apologize.
I would no. I'm not. I'm not assisting with that.
Maybe just get Tyler. That might be good.
I can't. He's not here. He said he had stuff he had to take care of.
All right, fine. I'll just outro the show.
Yeah.
Oh, Tyler, what a dick.
Real quick, if you wanna check out my more, reach out to me. Just check out reddit.com/r/toilet paper. I check all the comments.
All the comment you ignore the posts, but you just read the comments on the posts.
Yeah. Is that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right.
But, goodbye.
All right. So tell all the hunters to put down their guns. Goodbye, everyone.
I got here just in time.
Oh.
Did I miss the ending?
Oh no, Tyler, we're actually we're about to start the podcast. So welcome to the Talk and Phil podcast. This is Will, and here's Tyler.
You already started earlier.
I don't recall that. Don't think so. Hey, you said you were gonna have a guest on. You have the guest come on, Tyler. We'll start this show proper with the guest. What a beautiful beast.